It was just another day where I log onto YouTube and see all these YouTubers talking about the latest and greatest camera release. This time it was about the Sony A7R5. And this camera definitely caught my attention quickly because I had been using the Sony A7R3 for like almost 4 years. It's an amazing camera and it's gotten the job done for me so many times. And now I'm seeing a hybrid option of the R series that does really good photo and video. If you're anything like me, you're on YouTube watching 30 different videos on the same product to decide if it's the right choice for you, or if you should consider something else, or if you actually don't need to be upgrading anything. But after a few weeks of debating and researching the camera, I decided to buy the camera. And here's why. I've owned this camera for about a couple months and it's not gonna be a very spec heavy review. This review is gonna be more so on how the camera makes me feel and how it has contributed to my work. Before I made this purchase, I really had to sit down and think about who I am as an artist. I am very much a photographer as much as I am a cinematographer. I'm constantly shooting music videos and films, studio photography, outdoor photography, fashion, headshots, portraits, whatever. I do a lot of both. People love to ask me if I prefer shooting photo or video, and it's a really tough question to answer because I just genuinely love doing both. And so obviously being a hybrid shooter, somebody that loves doing photography professionally and video professionally, a hybrid camera that was very capable in both really intrigued me. So now that I've actually used this camera for a couple of months on multiple projects and multiple different scenarios, let's talk about how I feel about the camera. A big reason why I purchased this camera is to use it in combination with my FX3. Now, when I'm shooting music videos, I love shooting handheld. I think it brings a lot of energy and character to the shots that I'm getting. But there are a lot of times where I actually do need to go back and forth between handheld shots and smoother Ronin shots. Now that I have a solid A7R5 that can complement the images that I'm getting out of my FX3, I have a really good A and B cam setup, one that is ready for handheld and one that is always ready to go on the gimbal. And now I'm so much faster on set. Even the other day, a client walked up to me during the shoot and we were doing a lot of tripod and handheld shots, and then she added a shot where she was like, oh, let's do some movement shots. And I'm like, no problem, ready to go. Literally picked up my R5 that was already on the gimbal, ready to go, and we were getting the shot a couple minutes later. I really love being able to go back and forth between photo and video just by using the dial on the top of the camera. And by doing that, I can also make sure the settings don't transfer over, so my photos don't have 50 frames per second or look S-log, and I have to go back and kind of like change it back to photo mode. And it really has been so nice being able to do that because now I feel like I'm getting FX3 energy and my old A7R3 in one camera, and I love that. Now, this is nothing new. A lot of cameras have been able to do photo and video back and forth, but this is one of the better hybrid cameras that I've seen recently, and definitely the best one that I personally owned. Coming from the A7R3 and having a screen that can only go like up and down like this, I made it work. I made it work for years and I still got great shots, but being able to pull the screen down like this and get a lot of low angle shots that I really love getting all the time has been so beneficial for me, and I really love being able to use this screen in so many different ways to get the shots that I want. When it comes to video, I am not the best colorist at all. I do my best, but phantom LUTs with the FX3 and using S-Log 3 has been a game changer for me. And so being able to use those same LUTs with the image that I'm getting out of the R5 has completed my workflow, honestly, where I'm able to use both cameras and get the same look and not try to worry about, matching things from different bodies and all that. It's really nice. The autofocus, Sony autofocus has been so good to me since I've been using the R3, FX3, and this camera is just even better. And by not worrying about the autofocus ever, it just helps me to be more creative and get the shots that I want without worrying if things are in focus or not. So having that sticky autofocus is another really fun way that I've used this camera, was actually being able to monitor on my phone using the, I think it's called the Monitor Plus app, and I mainly just use it for my FX3 to record and control my settings. But now the R5 is compatible with the app, and I've been using it in some really interesting ways, where one time I actually literally handed my phone to a model during a photo shoot so they could literally see how they look and fix their hair or their clothes, or just make sure they're you know, looking right on camera with the app itself. And I even did a fun BTS thing where I screen recorded while I was shooting. So I was able to record the video while I was taking photos of the model at the same exact time. And it was really fun because these are things that I enjoy capturing so I can create fun content later to show my process of how I'm shooting. And my A7R3 definitely didn't have that capability. There are some video features that I wish were better, or different settings that I wish I could have in this camera, but it's obviously a photo camera first with incredible video capabilities. But the FX3 that I own fills in all those gaps for me. Well, that definitely turned into a rant, but I hope you took something away from this video and found different reasons whether you should or should not buy this camera. Honestly, I'm really glad that I got this camera. It really boosted my creativity just in the first couple months of owning it, and it's really nice when you get a piece of gear that really excites you and gets you, honestly, it just gets you re-excited for what you're already creating and makes you want to go out and shoot. And that's one of the more important things when it comes to buying a new camera. If you want to see more content that I've shot with this camera, you can check it out on my Instagram at Shalette. I will link it in the description below. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching again, and I will see you guys in the next video.